News 25 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
One person is injured in a kitchen fire, and students are excited to spend extra hours learning math. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Eunette Gentry. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
The state fire marshal is investigating a kitchen fire. It's Thursday, February 6th. I'm Eunette Gentry. Well, according to Fire Chief Scott Lewis, one person was transported to Desert View Hospital this afternoon following a kitchen fire at the Moose Lodge on 2nd Street. And the state fire marshal, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, and Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies all responded to that fire, which was fortunately contained to its area of origin, and that investigation is ongoing. And in a predictable vote, mostly along party lines, President Donald Trump was acquitted of the trial of impeachment by the U.S. Senate. Soon after, the president said he hopes Democrats will focus on fixing the nation instead of removing him from office. And then he called them, quote, stone cold crazy, end quote. Trump called today a day of celebration and praised the Republicans who defended him. And turning back to local news, there's lots of excitement at Rosemary Clark Middle School, all about math. And parents are being encouraged to become a part of all that fun. Brad Francis has more.
So how do you get kids and their parents excited about math? Well, you invite them in for Math Night. Rosemary Clark wants to give parents a better understanding of what their children are learning in the classroom. So every few months, the school hosts a Math Night event. The get-togethers include a lot of hands-on activities that make math fun. It's a great bonding experience for children and their parents, but it's also a great way for parents to meet each other. The school even provides food for the events. Of course, students are learning some of the usual math principles like ratios and angles, but it's how they're learning. Teachers are now using a variety of programs and games, including online activities, to grab students' attention and get them more interested in math.
It's basically so that they can show their parents exactly what it is that they're doing in class. A lot of parents are pretty much saying, well, this is not really how I learned, or I didn't learn this until another grade. So it's a great way to kind of show exactly what we're doing at RCMS and what type of math that we're trying to teach our students here, and to try to get them more involved so that way they can help their students when they go home, so that way they're more successful in math.
The Math Nights are open to all students, grades 6 through 8. It's a great opportunity for parents to become more involved in their child's education, and it's a lot of fun too.
Math Nights, it's a wonderful time. This is my third time here in the last couple of years, and it's always a great time to get together with the kids and the parents and do some math games. So we played Kahoot, and we're building rockets and going to launch rockets. So it's a good time. I can't say enough about the staff and the teachers here at RCMS. I think they're wonderful.
And what do the students think about Math Night?
I think the funnest one so far was probably the rockets at the very end.
Yeah.
And we made like tiny little rockets, and only 1 or 2 made it through the hoop.
Yeah.
But
You got to hold the hoop though, right?
yeah.
Is this making you like math?
I've always liked math. Just always liked math, and I guess it's kind of making me like it more.
Rosemary Clark Middle School will host one more Math Night this school year, sometime in March, right before spring break.
All right, stay tuned right here at News 25, where we are Pahrump's #1 and now Las Vegas's newest news source.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
All right, welcome back to News 25. Now here's Angela Miles with financial news that might affect your bottom line.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, a new 20-year bond will be available to investors beginning in May. The government will auction off the bonds through the Treasury Department to help pay for the rising budget deficit, which is likely to top $1 trillion during the next decade. The 20-year bond was last auctioned in 1986. The trade deficit decreased for the first time in half a decade. According to the government, the deficit shrank by 1.7% in 2019. The drop was mostly due to fewer exports and imports from China in the midst of the trade war. U.S. deficits with the European Union and Mexico remain at record levels. General Motors reveals last year's strike cost the company $3.6 billion, and sales are slipping in China. Still, GM reported better than expected earnings, while revenue came up a bit light.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Thanks so much, Angela. And in more local news, the Home Depot is giving back once again to our local veterans. They recently continued their projects at the Veterans Memorial at the Chief Tacoma Cemetery on East Street.
What we're doing today is putting in the other two pergolas that was started a year and a half ago. Home Depot was nice enough to put in 4 pergolas for us, and now they're putting in the other 2, which is a donation to the Veterans Cemetery. The Veterans Memorial was set up about 15 years ago, and it operates on really no budget at all. It has no budget other than what ground maintenance do. So a lot of the work that you see around here now is done by our committee, who gets donations from different people. Just like all the benches that you see right now, those are individually donated. Home Depot has put in the pergolas. They also painted the building. They also have donated racks for us, for our chairs and everything else. We don't take any money. I mean, we have a donation wall over there where people can donate and put a plaque up, but all monies don't come to our committee. What they do is they go to the town, but it is in for the Veterans Cemetery. We don't touch money.
We're very proud to be out here to help out the cemetery and the veterans. This is our 3rd time out here. The first couple of times we put up the pergolas. Today we're trying to do a little refresh, do a new stain on it, plus we're adding 2 pergolas for the new benches that he's got coming in to celebrate for the veterans. Home Depot has a Team Depot grant, and Celebration of Service is what we're doing right now, which is celebrating our veterans and everything that they've done for us as a nation. So we try to donate anything from product to man hours, whatever we can do to help the community. We're part of the Las Vegas district, so there's 13 stores, and anytime that we have a veterans event, whether it's here in Pahrump or in Las Vegas, all the stores get together and we go out to support. Me and Carl works really well together. Anytime Carl comes into the store, I always bug him about anything that he's got going on. And then we walked and talked a little bit today about some upcoming things that we might be able to do for him. But anything big or small, it doesn't matter. We always try to be a partnership with him.
Kevin, on behalf of our committee, we would like to present you with this for our thanks and everything. And on my personal thanks, what I would like to present you with is my Air Force corn, which also shows my rank on the back of it. For all the work and help that you've done for us, we'd like to present that to you from our committee. And thank you very much, sir.
All right, and we'd like to thank all veterans for their service. Well, in other news, are you stepping on the scale in the morning and feeling a bit frustrated? It's possible your habits from the night before might be to blame. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Casey Goodpaster says it's easy to rack up excess calories in the evening, especially if watching TV is a part of your bedtime routine. News, of course.
Watching TV while snacking is a really frequent thing that we see with patients who are struggling with their weight management, because watching TV is such a passive activity. There's a lot of unhealthy food cues on there, so it's really easy for the eating to add up in the evening hours.
Dr. Goodpaster says some people may even suffer from a disorder called night eating syndrome. This happens when people have the urge to eat another meal's equivalent after dinner or eat in the middle of the night. It creates a vicious cycle where you're not hungry in in the morning, you skip meals, but then become overly hungry later in the day or at night. And when we're hungry at night, Dr. Goodpastor says we're not as likely to spend a lot of time preparing healthy meals. She adds that we're programmed to crave high-carb, low-fiber foods in the evening or when we're overly tired. To combat this cycle of unhealthy eating habits, Dr. Goodpastor recommends eating regular meals throughout the day and the evening, but taking a pause before indulging in a nighttime snack right away.
Maybe it wasn't that physical hunger at all. Maybe the craving is coming from something else. It could be stress and really needing to find a relaxation activity in the evening, something non-food related, and that might be something like deep breathing exercises or taking a nice hot bath or shower.
Dr. Goodpastor warns against using eating as a way to manage stress. While eating releases happy hormones to our brains, she says they only last short term. When we find better ways to manage stress, we sleep better, and it's easier to develop a healthier meal structure.
Well, it's once again time to lend a hand to help clean up Pahrump. The quarterly trash cleanup is happening this Saturday, so please come out for just a few short hours to help beautify the town of Pahrump.
We're looking for volunteers, trucks, and trailers for this weekend's neighborhood cleanup happening Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Come meet us at the Bob Roode Community Center starting at 8:30 in the morning. Pizza is served afterwards. For more information, go to the Neighborhood Cleanup on Facebook.
All right, don't grab that remote. We'll be right back here at KPVM News.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, the Nevada Secretary of State's Elections Division reminds voters that the Secretary of State's office and county election officials have no role whatsoever in the Nevada presidential caucus process. While state election officials encourage participation in the process, the presidential caucuses are run entirely by the political parties and are not considered elections under Nevada law. All decisions with regard to administering the caucuses, including the technology used to support the process, are made by the parties and have nothing to do with the office of the Nevada Secretary of State. Individuals with questions concerning the Democratic Presidential Caucus are encouraged to contact the Nevada State Democratic Party. The Nevada State Republican Party will not be holding a presidential caucus in Nevada in 2020. Now here's Josh Osborne with today's Tech Tip, and he's giving us some information about when to know when it's time for you to buy a new computer.
Hi, it's Josh with Pahrump's own Great Computer Deals. Let's get right into it. It's time for another quick tutorial. How do I know it's time to buy a new computer? Well, here's one sign. You can no longer run the programs you want because your PC specs are not powerful enough. The first PC I ever bought, the salesman told me, "You'll never need anything larger than this." Well, unfortunately, that is never the case. All computers become inadequate at some point. If you're struggling to run the latest programs you use for office, financial, graphic design, music, or gaming, it's probably time to look into upgrading for probably way cheaper than you think. If you're in the market for an updated computer, come down to our store for some friendly advice and we can help you with your next step. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
Thanks, Josh. Now let's take a look at news happening across the Silver State with Laura Don.
The local housing market kicked off the new decade with home prices and sales increasing from the same time last year, but giving back gains made in December. So says a report released Thursday by the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors. The association reported that the median price of existing single-family homes sold in Southern Nevada through its multiple listing service, MLS, during January 2020 was $305,000. That was down 2.6% from December, but up 1.7% from January of 2019. In 2019, union members accounted for 14.6% of wage and salary workers in Nevada. compared with 13.9% in 2018, according to a report issued by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Union membership rate for the state was at its peak in 1996, when it averaged 20.4%, and at its low point in 2016 at 12.1%. Nationwide union members accounted for 10.3% of employed wage and salary workers in 2019, down by 0.2% from 2018. Nevada has joined 2 other states in a lawsuit seeking to adopt the Equal Rights Amendment as part of the U.S. Constitution. Attorney General Aaron Ford's office said that they have filed civil rights lawsuits against the U.S. Archivist to make it part of the Constitution. He says 38 states have ratified the Equal Rights Amendment, making equality of all rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Nevada ratified the amendment in 2017. The child support changes approved by the Nevada legislature for 2020 will make it easier for those paying support and harder on those who are receiving it. The new formula for new cases across the state calculates money in 3 categories: those earning less than $6,000 a month, those making between $6,000 to $10,000 a month, and those making more than $10,000 a month. The first 2 groups will be paying less in support. The idea is to give relief to those support payers who are economically struggling. According to the latest initial claims data from the Nevada Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation, initial claims for unemployment insurance totaled just over 12,000 in December, up 60 claims or 0.5% compared to last December. Compared to November of 2019, initial claims increased 14.6% or 1,530 more claims. I'm Laura Don, and this is your news across Nevada.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, let's take a look outside at what conditions were like earlier today through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam. Look at that picturesque view above the mountains surrounding Pahrump. We'll take a closer look at our forecast and if that rain will return right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 65 degrees, the low of 40. 76, a low of 49 in Death Valley, 72-38 in Amargosa, 67-35 in Beatty, 55-22 in Goldfield, 51, a low of 23 in Tonopah, 56-27 in Carson City, 58-22 in Fallon, and finally up in Fernley, 57 degrees, their low is 28 degrees. Now today in Pahrump, we saw sunny skies. Our high today was 68 degrees, winds coming out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour. 28% humidity, and our sunrise at 6:40 this morning. Now for tonight, we're going to see clear skies. Our low is going to be 39 degrees. It is currently 65 outside. Winds coming out of the north-northeast at 6 miles per hour. 45% humidity, and our sunset at 5:15 p.m. Now looking into our 7-day, we are going to see some more sunny skies from Friday and Saturday. We do have some clouds rolling in for Sunday and Monday. We're expected to clean up on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, wind-wise, we are still going to have a couple spotty days of those high winds. Going to see winds up to 11 miles per hour on Friday, up to 14 and 15 miles per hour Sunday and Monday, and then back down to 11 miles per hour on Wednesday. Now, temperature-wise, on Friday and Saturday, we're going to be seeing our highs at 71 and 70 degrees. We're going to drop a somewhat significant amount on Sunday and Monday down to 54 and 59 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be back up just a smidgen with highs of 60 and 61. And then back to 59 by next Thursday. Now for overnights, looking a lot more consistent. We're just going to be hanging out in that 30-degree bracket, just between 33 and 39 degrees all week long for overnights. Now with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Eunette.
Well, thanks so much, Michael. And looks like we got our wish. The chance of rain went away. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Eunette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you again tomorrow. Good night.